Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to show you the new Tilesets feature inside the Tiles tab on Pixellab. So let's head over to Pixellab and get started. I'm starting on the Pixellab website, and from here I'm going to click on the Maps tab. Inside the Maps section, I'll switch over to Tiles and click Create Tiles. Then I'm going to select Tileset, which is currently in beta. The tool itself is pretty straightforward. At the top, we have the description box, and this is where we describe the two types of terrain we want the tile set to connect. In the description, I'm going to prompt pretty tall grass to water, but you can prompt pretty much any terrain transition you want. Below the description, we can choose the tile type. We have isometric, oblique, hexagonal flat top, hexagonal pointy top, and square top down. We can also choose the tile size with options for 32, 48, 64, or 96 pixels. Depending on the tile type, we can also change the view angle and the thickness of the tiles. The view angle changes the perspective, while the thickness controls how deep or tall the sides of the tile appear. We also have the uneven or straight boundaries, which will make it a bit more flowy for some tile types. We have this terrain height setting, which lets you set the height difference between both tiles. We also have the edge steepness for the terrain height, which is how far the drop spreads sideways. And finally, we can choose whether we want the tiles to have an outline. Now let's hit Generate Tiles. And look at that. That came out pretty nice. Pixellab generated the grass, the surrounding water, and all the different corners and transition pieces needed to connect everything. Now that we have the tile set, let's actually build something with it. I'll switch over to the Maps tab and click New Map. Once the editor opens, I can go into Tiles, select the tile set we just generated, and start drawing directly onto the map. And you can see that the tiles are automatically connecting as I paint. With Auto Tile enabled, Pixellab picks the correct corners and transition pieces for us. So instead of manually selecting every individual tile, I can draw the shape I want and let the editor handle the connections. We also have a few settings that let us add height to the map. The first one is the stack layer setting. This lets us place tiles on different height levels instead of keeping the entire map completely flat. So I can increase the stack layer and start placing tiles above the terrain that's already there. We also have brush height. Brush height stacks several tiles vertically while we paint. So instead of placing the same tile one layer at a time, we can quickly build something more like a wall or a raised platform. I'll increase the brush height and start drawing here. And now you can see the tiles stacking upward. This gives us more manual control whenever we're building a specific structure. I took another tile set and made a small map. So let's try to add some stairs with Inpainting. I'll click Inpaint Map, and now I can draw over the part of the map that I want Pixellab to change. We can refine the inpainting area by painting more of the mask or erasing parts of it until the shape is closer to what we want. For this section, I'm going to prompt stairs. Now let's hit Generate. And there we go. Pixellab created some pretty nice isometric stairs that connect into the raised terrain. Because the stairs were generated directly inside the map, they already follow the same general perspective and style. I can erase parts of the inpainting result or adjust the selected area if I want to generate another section. So I'm going to inpaint one more time and add some more stairs. And now we have another section. The results might need a little cleanup. For that, I can click Edit in Pixelorama. This opens the map inside Pixelorama, where we can use the regular pixel art editing tools to clean up the generation. Here, I'm removing a few unwanted pixels and adjusting the edges so the stairs connect more naturally with the rest of the terrain. So even after generating something with AI, we still have full control over the final pixel art. Next, let's add a separate object to the map. I'll return to the map editor and click Create Object. This works similarly to inpainting, but instead of permanently changing the terrain, the result is created as a separate object. I'll draw the area where I want the object to appear. For the description, I'm going to prompt an isometric fish statue. Let's generate it. And here we go. That actually came out pretty cool. Since the statue was created as an object, I can select it and move it around the map. I can place it on another tile, move it onto the raised platform, or position it somewhere closer to the stairs. I can also duplicate it if I want to use the same object in multiple parts of the map. So you can build the main terrain first and then decorate it with movable props afterward. Now let's go back to the Tiles tab and test some of the other tile types. For the next example, I'm going to create an oblique tile set. With oblique tiles, we can change the wall tilt from a more standard angle to something closer to that classic tibia-style perspective. For the description, I'm going to prompt snow to ice. This time I'll use 48 by 48 tiles, and I'm going to keep the outline enabled. Now let's generate it. And check that out. Pretty clean. The angle is noticeably different from the isometric tile set, especially along the walls and the sides of the terrain. This kind of perspective could work really well for an old-school RPG or any game inspired by that classic oblique map style. Next, let's try one of the hexagonal options. I'll create another tile set and select hexagonal flat top. For this one, I'm going to use 32 by 32 tiles and prompt sand to water. I'll also choose no outline this time. Now let's hit generate. Beautiful. Pixellab generated a complete hexagonal sand to water transition set with all the different edge combinations needed to connect the terrain. This could be useful for strategy games, board game style maps, or anything else built around a hexagonal grid. And for the final example, let's try the square top-down option. For the description, I'm going to prompt dungeon floor to lava. This time I'll use 64 by 64 tiles, and I'm going to keep the outline enabled. And of course, I'm going to play around with the settings to make it be unique. So let's generate. And bam, check it out. That looks amazing. We have the dungeon floor in the center, the lava surrounding it, and all the different corners and connecting pieces already included. So even though the isometric, oblique, and hexagonal options are probably the most different, the tool also works for more traditional top-down terrain. One last thing I forgot to mention is that you can also use other tile sets you've made in the same map. So you can click Add Tile Group, and if it's the same type of tile set, it should appear here. Same things apply. If we disable Auto Tile, we can choose the specific tiles we want to use without having unwanted borders. And that's that for today. In the next video, I'll cover the other types of tiles we have in beta, but I wanted to give each one a video since they all have their goodies. The tile set tool is still in beta, so definitely try experimenting with different terrain combinations, tile sizes, angles, thickness settings, and outline modes. You can try Pixellab using the link in the description. And if this tutorial helped you, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and let me know what type of tile set you want to see next.